Alright, welcome back to Skyrim. So last time we failed to deal with those giants for the bounty and thus pursued the Golden Claw, which we now have for Luke and Valerius. Now we're currently going through Bleak Falls Barrow because apparently it unlocks something in here. And that sounds like treasure, potentially wealth. Wealth beyond measure, Outlander. And evidently I was not trying to do an impression of the voice, I was just saying the line. So before anybody tells me how shit my Morrowind Dunmer impression is, just don't. We've got some side passages here. Aha. Draugr. Oh, jeez. Oh, my god. Please don't kill me this early into the episode. That would be most embarrassing. Come on. Okay, you've got a spear. Oh, ow. Whew. That was rough. To Draugr. It's an ancient, it's a honed ancient Nord pike. You know, our perk actually does apply to spears. I could potentially make use of that. Quarterstaves is not so much. Let's see here, 34 and, oh, it's only 26. How's the attack speed? Not great. I assume I have more reach if I do this. Nah, I'm not feeling it. Why did that unbind? Okay. Let's see what we have here. Some lockpicks and some Draugr. Got some glowing mushrooms over there. I'll investigate those in a moment. I don't think that they're good for anything alchemically. Should probably try eating one, see if the effect is the same at least. At least the first effect, that is. Now, pro tip, generally a bad idea to eat random mushrooms that you pull off the wall. But I'm an alchemist, I do what I want. Yeah, resist shock. Meh. Okay, we've got a locked door. My hands weren't visible. There they are. It's funny, back during the Moors playthrough and I installed this first-person animation mod, I wasn't a fan of the hands being up as I run, but it kind of grew on me as I did my personal playthrough of Gate to Sovngarde. Okay, I did not turn off the shaders, it's just really dark in this particular hallway. Perhaps we should just focus on the main path. Perhaps I shouldn't have wasted the stamina on the power attack. I was already committing to the animation, though, before I saw that it was dead. Okay, you've got a bow. I gotta be careful. Okay, yeah, you did stick an arrow in me, which you can have back. Ah, a chest. Yeah, I really need a light source. I'm sorry if it's really dark on your end. It's actually not bad on my end. There are some areas that are worse than others. This isn't particularly bad, but I would prefer a light for viewer experience and for those areas that are too dark on my end. Whew, barely made it. I was worried about the amount that my armor would be slowing me. I think this is the other side of that door we found. That was locked. Got another door here. You've got a big-ass warhammer. You had a big-ass warhammer. Now you're dead. You've got a mace. It's funny that the fishing collection, or creation of all things, is what added these new ancient Nordic weapons. They were added to the fishing pool for things you could fish up, and then promptly added to the list of weapons that Draugr could use. So like the maces and the warhammers, those aren't in the base game. I don't know why I'm talking like you guys haven't played Skyrim. You probably have. This game is pretty old by now. Okay, nothing really in the coffins. Not unless I fancy bloody bandages. Who knows, maybe there's a way to clean them. In fact, do I have any wounds? That's probably a good thing to be checking on occasion. No, I don't actually have any wounds, which is kind of lucky. Might be related to my armor being so heavy. But in my personal playthrough, I was dealing with wounds quite a lot. And that character was light armor, which lines up with the whole could be armor thing that I was just saying. Okay, I think I opened something that way. I was trying to turn my head to listen for it. Shit. Can I squeeze through? No. Damn, it looks like there's a path through there. Well, I opened a gate somewhere. Not a gate to Sovngarde, but a gate nonetheless. Just don't know where. Can I squeeze through here? Aha! I think this just took me back to somewhere I've already been. If anything, possibly disoriented me somewhat. No, this is a slightly different area. That was just another part. Your head was in the ceiling, good sir. I think that's due to the size variation mod. Creates some variation for the size of certain creatures, including Draugr. There we go. Don't mind me, it was just adjusting how I was sitting. Pause the recording because I know how loud this fucking chair is. Bleak Falls Inner Sanctum. Okay, interesting. But what's this way? Ah, it's the gate that I opened, I think. Let's see what's through here before going into new cells. Aha, we're on the vanilla path. Let's stick to the vanilla path for now. Because we have some combat stress starting to build. I don't want to get overstressed because I don't want to develop a fear of Draugr. Or undead in general. Oops, I did not mean to pick up that armor. I am very bloody right now, though, I will say. And you know a lot of it's probably my blood, because I'm fighting a lot of undead here. I mean, there were the bandits earlier on, but it's been a little while since we fought them, and I don't think I was quite this bloody. There is a waterfall here. Do I have any soap? No. A little wash-off would have helped with my stress a bit. Cleaned me up too, but alas. In fact, what's my current effect? Yeah, I'm covered in blood. Although very intimidating, you'll have a hard time getting a good bargain or persuading someone with your current appearance. I think it's just covered in dirt that makes you more susceptible to disease. I was thinking blood would do it as well, but evidently not. Okay, nice whiff. And no, I wasn't actually commenting about her smell. I meant like she whiffed her attack. I really threw her down that chasm and sent her weapon flying. Skyrim physics never change. I mean it, Bethesda. Don't update the game anymore and change that. God damn it. Although, as much as I do like to shit on Bethesda for updating their game on occasion, I do rather like the survival mode that they added. Despite the lack of a thirst need, I think it's actually really good. If I had one way that I would improve it, it would be adding a thirst need. Because it really doesn't make much sense that there is no thirst need. There are plenty of drinks in the game, alcoholic and otherwise. Could easily add water skins, like we've seen in this collection and with other needs mods. I know you tend to get more dehydrated when you drink alcohol. I'm just saying that before somebody corrects me in the comments. Okay, we've got an apprentice locked chest. Wonder if the key would be anywhere around here. It is just an apprentice lock, so I'm not going to look for too long. Because we could get that open pretty quick, I think. It would help if I had a light source. No, not in there. At least not that I could see. Alright, let's open this chest the old-fashioned way. Also, here's my video gaming hot take. I think lockpicking is overdone. I think as a mechanic, it kind of needs to go in future games. If I'm being entirely honest. Maybe make it a little animation or something. It doesn't need to be a minigame every single time. I think the straw that broke the camel's back in that regard was Baldur's Gate 3, if I'm being honest. With how many times you had to pick locks there and roll dice every single time. Love Baldur's Gate 3, but my god, the lockpicking got old in that game fast. Especially needing to switch to your lockpicking character. Okay, pull the chain. I always look at the wrong side first for that particular chain, and I don't know why. I'm a little bit surprised as well that I've not found a greatsword. An ancient Nordic greatsword, that is. A lot of quarterstaves and pikes and hammers, but no greatsword. I don't know how I did not get hit there. I'm going to just consider it luck. Maybe it just bounced off my helmet or something. Which still would hurt. I don't know why I even rationalize that. If it hit my helmet, that would suck. Like, hardcore suck. Of course, your helmet would protect you, and it's better than getting hit on the bare noggin. But still. A knock to the head is still a knock to the head. Alright, this must be the Hall of Stories. At least I'm assuming so, because it looks like there is a lock that my claw would fit in. Okay, so following the shapes on the claws... Don't mind the animation mod freaking out a little bit. That's what happens when you spam the button. Sorry, my phone was going off. If you heard like a tiny bit of classical music that I really hope is not copyrighted, then that's why you heard my phone going off. In fact, I should probably move my phone at least a little bit to the side. I think it creates a little bit of interference with my microphone on occasion. Similarly to how you can get interference with your headphones. I think it does do that with my microphone on occasion, because I've noticed occasional, like, cutting out of words. But I don't know, I could be talking out of my ass. Probably am, in fact. Okay, that's ominous. And that's locked. I suppose we should approach the ominous wall. For some reason, I can make sense of this text, and I have no idea why. Here lies the Guardian, keeper of the Dragonstone, and a force of unending rage and darkness. Maybe I'm just good with languages. Okay, you are gonna fucking hurt if you can hit me. Ow. Come on. Yep, just taunt you. Oof. Honed Ancient Nord Battle Axe of Chills. Not super valuable and pretty heavy, but it's better than nothing. Dragonstone. An ancient tablet depicting a map of dragon burial sites. Now, of course, we don't know these are dragon burial sites yet, but it's nice as that description. Looks like a map of Skyrim. It's got some text on the reverse. Looks similar to that that's on the wall, but I don't know why, but I'm having a harder time reading it. Perhaps it had to do with that ominous chanting thing that was going on. Actually, a little bit metagamey for me to say, but I do know where the key is here. I want to pick it up before getting the chest back there in case it works on that chest too. I am currently rested. It is 2:50 p.m., so we're starting to run a little bit lower on fatigue. Not enough to be tired yet, but we're no longer well rested. And no, the key does not work on this, alas. But at least it's just a novice lock. Quick and easy to pick through and loot. And aha, we have the key. An elven bow? If I was an archer, that'd be really nice. Iron plate gauntlets, not as good as what we have now. Yeah, actually, the loot is pretty subpar. A little bit disappointed by that. And that's the same as what we're wearing now, I think. At least I think. Hold on. 24. It is better. Okay, I'll drop these. Oh wow, those are actually really valuable. What the hell? I'll have to keep that in mind and sell it when I'm done with these and find a replacement. Alright, let's get out of here. I think I've had quite enough of this ruin. In fact, how's my stress level? Only minor. Not bad. I think I will have a little dip in the lake as well. It's not a full-on wash, but it'll at least clean me. Clean me off a little bit, that is. Make me slightly dirty rather than covered in blood. Okay, some hide armor that I don't need to take. Looks like someone was leaving offerings around here. Potentially using the chest for the same. I don't know. I noticed that those were septims rather than Drecker, so evidently somebody has been here within recent times, relatively. Empty potion bottle. Nice. Got some corundum. Do I still have my pickaxe? I do. Do I want to mine corundum? I have some on the horse. In fact, let's call the horse. You are surprisingly quick when you want to be. Of course, as soon as I get on you, you're pretty slow. Perhaps it's the weight of my armor, or perhaps you just don't want to move fast for me. Alright, well, here's the lake. Should have a little dip in it. At least clean myself off a bit. Just wading out into the lake. Come on. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to reconfigure RASS. I don't want the water effects on the screen. Oops, I passed it. There we are. Okay, visual effects full, that's fine. Cold breaths, camera effects off. Ash weather, just turn that off, the camera effects. Turn those off. Rainy weather, just keep the membrane. And then for swimming, turn everything off. Those are my preferred settings. Alright, now at least I am no longer covered in blood. Let's get going, Queen. Have I already picked a standing stone by chance? I have not. At least not that I can see. It says fatigue. Oh, so I tire less fast. I tire slower. Would have been a slightly better way to say that, but I tire less fast. So we'll probably want to stop by those standing stones when we get a chance. What's this, a cabin of some kind? It's a nice enough place for a little cabin. Some kind of altar. Some kind of witch owned this place? I'm not sure. Let's see. Fire salts. Gems. Okay, let's try offering some up to the altar. Aha. Got some of those fire elemental gems. Nice. Those, of course, are from my own elemental gems mod that I added. Whoops, I did not mean to draw my sword. Yeah, you definitely look like a wizard of some kind.
Well, hello. It's so nice to have a visitor. Oh, I get so lonely out here. Do stay for a while, dear.
Wouldn't it be easier living in town? Why do you live out here?
It's tough just scraping by out here, but I make do.
Fair enough. Probably doesn't have much that she could pay me with, so I'm not going to offer to help. Definitely seeing some things indicative of practicing of the arcane, though, which could be quite interesting. I see a basement. Okay, come on. Witches have to have cool things in their basement. I do hope that she doesn't mind me having a little poke around. Come on. There we go. Niece's book research. And it's kind of long. I have a hard enough time reading out loud as is. So I tend to stick to the shorter things, or the things that are story important. Helgi dear, why do you hesitate? You can feel the power coursing through your blood. You only have to reach out and grasp it. Renounce that boy of yours and come. Come live with me in the forest. My sister will be here soon, and together we can form a proper coven, and your training will truly begin. Well, I didn't see a boy with a niece. Yeah, it's a letter from a niece. So, guess she was trying to send that to someone. Potent paralysis, poison. There, got it. The Paper Mirror, Volume 1. I don't recognize this volume. By Anonymous. The hero was curious. It was not an uncommon affliction for people her age, but for Lavanna... Okay, why is the book talking to me? It was almost a sickness. It was the reason she stole into the witch's cabin. Yes. And the reason she was reading this book now. For what were books but another kind of door. And to open them was to open a world of possibilities. In Skyrim, Levana had opened many doors like this one, and they all made the same progress. Behind it were tales of conspiracy, tragedy, valor, sacrifice, and sometimes even love. The more doors you opened, the further you descended, losing yourself in every chamber, every corner of every room. But alas, behind this door she found neither knights nor sorcery, nobles nor thieves. There were no clashes between light and dark, sword and shield, earth and sky. All she found was an empty room, save for a single object placed in the center. A mirror. This is not to say that it was an ordinary mirror. The surface was fluid, almost as if it were about to spill out from its thick brass frame. If it did move, it moved slowly, yet it could hardly be called calm. It was thick, cold, and most of all, murky. Now, the wise adventurer might turn away from such an ominous thing, but the curious one can't resist taking a peek. As for what Levana saw, suffice to say, she wasn't entirely sure. However, weeks later, long after she closed the door and continued on in her adventures, Levana couldn't help but feel a hint of recognition when she walked into the Windpeak Inn and approached a stranger by the wall. "What are you looking at?" the man asked, bending his lips into a scowl. Levana tried her best not to smile. Somehow, she already knew this man's name, his occupation, and why he was standing there. In short, the vanity cam is on now. Levana knew exactly what she was looking at. What she didn't know was how. "Your name's Theron, I take it," she said. "I'm here about the job." You know what? I should take that. There. Very interesting. A book that seems somewhat portentous. Windpeak Inn in Dawnstar. I've been there. Perhaps we ought to head back there when we get a chance. I could take this belt lantern and use it, but then it would be stolen and I'll lose it if I ever get arrested or have to pay a fine. So I'm going to just craft my own. They're pretty cheap, I think. I think it's just like an iron ingot and a leather strip, something like that. I had to use some potions in the ruins, so I might as well restock. Okay, that's all for now. I don't suppose Anise would be terribly happy with me for going through her things. But I have to admit, it was a worthwhile endeavor. That book was rather intriguing.
Huh?
Yeah, you are not happy with me, but now you are very dead. Take those from you. Alright, where's my horse? There's my horse. Hey, Queen. Alright, let's go. Let's head back to Riverwood and turn in this claw. Maybe we can find some use for the dragon stone that we looted as well. At least I believe that's what it is. The wall referred to a dragon stone. And I picked up a peculiar stone. Ha. There's a standing stone. Speaking of stones. Our role-playing reason for checking them out is that Levana happened to catch them in the corner of her eye and is curious. As we have well established, curiosity is one of her traits. Apparently I got dirtier between the last time I went into the river, or the lake, and now. That was Lake Illinois, not a river. Whoa, okay, yep, I am being attacked.
It's...
What, you want a piece as well? Should drink a potion. And that is why I am brewing quite the ample supply of them. Ow. Fucking archers. Hate them. In fact, I'm going as far as to say that's probably how Levana lost her eye. Got grazed by an arrow.
She's not so tough. Victory is yours.
Fuck. Do you mind? Not at all, apparently, because I'm dead. Oops. I don't know why I attacked there.
Stop that.
You stop that, cowardly archer. Okay, get cover. Gosh, I need more stamina so I can do more power attacks. Alright, let's see here. You're done here. That was the last mistake. Pack up the few pathetic things that you own and get the hell out of our camp. If you're not gone soon, you're going to wish you were when I'm done dealing with you and your family. Our contract still stands, but I can't have you around anymore. You're useless. So I sold you to another crew at Stony Creek Cave. It's pretty hard to find, so keep this note on you. Take the southeastern road at Kynes Grove and keep following it until you're exiting that Bleak area. At this point, you should be going uphill, eventually going south. There's a small patch going east before the main road veers off to the west. Take the small and windy path up, then when it splits, go left. You're at the right place, and you can see a small lake with a dock. If you're not there by next week, your family is dead. Your partner, your children, even that chicken you keep as a pet. So don't even think about running. Well. Ooh, you have a cooked catfish. Yoink. Either that person's family is dead, or I am going to end up killing whomever wrote that note. Because unfortunately for these bandits, they have drawn my ire by attacking me on the road like this. First, I'm going to investigate the stones, and then I'm going to go in there and teach them some manners. Let's call the horse, so I can hasten the trip back to the mine a little bit. I know it's a little bit lazy to ride the horse that little of a distance, but oh well. Very much a warrior stone kind of character. Those under the sign of the warrior have more health and are more effective at blocking. I don't really use shields, but I do on occasion block with my sword. So I suppose it will help in that regard. Alright, up the path. And there is the mine entrance. Like I said, I'm going to teach these louts some manners. Hopefully I don't get horribly killed in here. Azura, guide my blade. Make sure it strikes true. Okay, we've got 2 paths. Is this flooded? Yeah. Not gonna be able to go through there. Got a way down and a way up. Let's go this way.
Are you worried someone will wander in here? The entrance isn't exactly hidden, you know.
This again? I told you, we have someone standing guard out there. And don't forget the rock trap we rigged up. So, stop your worrying and get some rest. Your shift is coming up and I don't...
What was that?
Perhaps you should have been a little bit more worried. I'm here to teach you a lesson. Okay. So that connected back to the main room. They're here. Vampires at Moldering Ruins west of Rorikstead. I can feel my mind twisting and bending to their will. I hope I am able to get this letter delivered before I am gone. Please save us. Well, evidently, the letter either found its recipient, or the recipient is the person holding the letter. Or the sender, I mean, is whoever's holding the letter. You know what I mean. Or maybe it belonged to a civilian that the bandits killed and robbed. Although I don't know why that bandit would still be holding onto the letter if that's the case. Ooh, I think I am a bit peckish, yeah. Let's eat some more cheese. Num num num. Door is barred. Can I break these? Really, I can't power attack with almost full stamina. Not sure how I feel about that. Is there a perk that reduces power attack cost of... yeah, stamina cost of power attacks, rather. That's more damage. That's more damage. Power attacks deal more damage. Power attacks... yeah. Power attacks with two-handed weapons cost 20% less stamina at level 70. Holy. Whew. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. My character is stressed. That's probably why I don't have the stamina for it. But yeah, still, level 70 to reduce the cost of power attacks. That's quite a bit. Well, it looks like these people were smart by sealing off the crypts that they evidently built their place next to. Now, I know this is a little bit cheaty, but I want to see... ah, there is no way to get through there. Okay. You know what? I guess I could have just peeked rather than free cammed. I'm used to free camming to check and things like that, so you'll have to forgive me for forgetting. We could just pretend I peeked. That way I'm not cheating. Perhaps the tunnel was collapsed behind the door. And then again, why would they have sealed it? No. We couldn't get through the door, that's what I'll say. Yoink. They've had me working down here for days now. It's not the time that's getting to me, though. It's these tunnels. I've told them countless times that we need to add extra supports to weak sections of the tunnel. If only we had more of these wooden beams that we reinforced with those bronze bottoms. However, no. Honestly, if I hear the earth shift one more time above my head, I'll be so stressed I may stop drinking for good. I mean, that's what's a Nord without his mead? I could actually do with a mead. My character's stressed, so alcohol tends to help with that in the game. I'm not telling you that that's the solution to all of your problems. Speaking of, here's some mead. This will also give me a little bit of a stamina buff. Did I read that right? Mead. Stamina is increased by 25, but magic is decreased. Yeah. That's why I didn't drink the wine earlier, because it does the opposite. It lowers your stamina, but improves your magicka. It's the smart person's drink. Okay, so we've got some tunnels down this way. Okay, this is just a book. A random book. Not anything interesting pertaining to the mine. Suppose we gotta jump. Anything interesting in these barrels? Broken sword handle clay. No, not really. I mean, it's interesting loot, but it's nothing that I really need. Oh, actually, the tundra cotton I could use. I'll go back to that in just a second. Yeah, tundra cotton. You could actually use that to make, like, cotton bandages, which is really cool. And it's just another random book. Some stale food. No, thank you. I don't feel like giving myself food poisoning. Thank you very much. Okay, this area is thoroughly caved in. I really ought to be careful in here between the note or the journal I found and all these collapsed tunnels. It really does not seem to be a stable place to be wandering. I thought I saw a second path there, but evidently not. Okay, there's a door here, but it's locked. It's the only way out, though, I think, because I had to jump down. So let's get picking. Fuck. Now, I cannot be focusing on which expletives to say. I have to actually focus on what I'm doing. Okay, let's be a little bit quiet, because I don't know if there are going to be any bandits behind me when I engage these people. No, nobody's there. Nobody's there. You're hearing things. Okay. I think I managed to evade them. Let's let our stamina get back a bit.
Anybody there?
Nope, nobody. Just gonna sip my coffee while I wait. Okay, I think I'm about to be detected. Tell me what? Hmm? What are you gonna tell me? Okay, we've got an archer over there. Ooh, goat roast. Wearing an elf skull on his face. That's a bit gruesome. I'll read that later. Right now I'm in a little bit too much danger to be reading personal letters. There, off with your arm. Well, take that potion and that key. Nice. Let's hope the archer tries to pursue me in these tighter quarters tunnels. Might actually be able to handle him.
Time to end this little game.
I like the precision mod a lot. The fact that I was able to kind of strafe that Warhammer attack, that's really nice.
You ain't the first person I've killed, and you...
And what? Hmm? And what? What were you gonna say? Not so talkative now. Okay. Clairvoyance. Now that would actually be a very useful spell if we had a knack for magic. Because before you have the compass, that's actually a way that you can navigate to your goal, which I think is fantastic. Also, magic necklace that helps with security. I'm not wearing a magic necklace, so this is better than nothing, seeing how often we're having to lockpick. Okay. You're still interested in me by the looks of it. Let's try to approach a little bit quietly.
You can't hide from me.
Just get close. Close the distance a little bit so he has less time to shoot at me. Aha. Ow. I got lucky with you missing that second shot. There we go. That was almost like a trick shot, leaving his tail up like that. Okay. So that's all you had. And I think that's everybody. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that was an archer that cost Levana her eye. Perhaps she was wearing a full-face helmet kind of like this, and an arrow got her eye, but it also got kind of caught by the helmet, so it didn't penetrate deep enough to kill her. Just deep enough to really nick her eye and possibly damage it irreversibly. And that is why she hates archers so much. Nice little treasure trove here. Looks like there's a little bit more treasure down this way. Okay, let's pick this lock. There we go. Now again, because I've been so focused on talking, I don't remember if I actually looted the chest in that treasure room, so I'm going to pause the recording and check. I did. Alright, so they have a forge set up here. I wonder if I can make myself that belt lantern here. Gladly take some smithing insight. Not very good at smithing, but I do dabble. Alright, yes, belt lantern. Ah, so it's just 2 iron ingots, no leather strip even needed. And I can make it into a hand lantern if I want. That's interesting. But no, I like having it on my belt. And then I could just press L, and that toggles it off. And then I could just press L again, toggled on. Nice and unobtrusive. It also makes my belt setup look a little bit less ridiculous with my flute hanging off alone. Now it's kind of there with my lantern, so it kind of looks like a useful spot on my belt. I like that. I really like how certain items show up on you. Like I've got the claw on me. There are certain other items that you'll pick up too that will show up on your equipment. In fact, if I put on my backpack... No. I thought that the Dragonstone would have showed up. But I must have been mistaken. As you can see, the belt lantern's light doesn't go that far, which is probably why the hand lantern is useful. Hand lanterns and torches. But it's very useful when traversing through dark corridors, because it lights up the area around you. And it's dark out. Almost 9 p.m. I hear some wolves. Do I have any wounds? I do not, but I'm moderately stressed. Probably a good moment to go to bed once we get back to Riverwood. Assuming they'll rent the room to me. Okay. I think I'm far enough away from those wolves now. Let's hope that Queen does not draw them to me. If you're wondering why I turn in specific directions before I whistle, by the way, it's because when you whistle, the horse appears behind you. So I'm just kind of turning in the direction I want to go to save me a little bit of time when I get on my horse. Gosh, I really do like the automatic doffing of the helmet. That's really cool. And then, of course, there's the hotkey to do it manually. So I could put my helmet back on now if I wanted to, if, for example, a dragon started attacking, which we've not started the main story yet, despite us going through Bleak Falls Barrow. But that's a possibility in the future. I know this episode's running a little bit long, but I want to at least get to bed before I conclude it.
You're back from Bleak Falls. Did you find anything?
Yes, and it looks like you've been cleaning up today, which is good. I have the golden claw.
You found it! There it is! Strange. It seems smaller than I remember. Funny thing, huh? I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister.
Well, no wonder it got stolen if you just leave it out like that. Although they really did rough up your shop. If they were just after the claw, they would have just yoinked it from the counter and left. Maybe they had something against you, too, and just wanted to teach you a lesson. Hope you don't mind if I take those. A little bit of hazard pay. It was a rough day.
Thank you so much for taking care of those thieves. The Riverwood trader is back to the way it used to be.
What do you have for sale?
Take a look.
More accurately, I think I am about to sell you some stuff, but I'm taking a look at what you have first. Do I have a cure disease potion? I do. It's always good to keep a little stock of those, because diseases are a bit worse, more severe, rather, in survival mode. Not worse as in they are a worse system. I actually like how they work, because they actually advance if they're left untreated, which is really cool. Ooh, a tent. Didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't make myself a tent. I was thinking about making myself a tent. It's 200 gold. I can make my own for cheaper. Okay, let's just start selling stuff. I never did read this letter, but I'm not going to now. I think I am going to hold on to this for the time being. We might learn it. We'll see. Okay, and let's sell this stuff. I don't need the Magicka potions because I'm not using magic. It'll be hard for us to learn that clairvoyance spell if I do end up using it, but yeah. Ooh, I actually forgot I picked those up. Ragged robes. Where'd I get those? Oh, I think that was my starting clothes. Huh. Ooh, and I forgot I had this fur cloak as well. Good thing to remember in the future. Okay. Water walking boots. I don't know, I forgot about them. I'm just going to sell them. They take up quite a bit of weight. There we go. Ooh, actually,
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasure.
sell some of these to you. I tend to be in the habit of holding on to gems because they're useful for jewelry, but we don't have any silver or gold right
Till
now.
next time.
So no point in really holding on to them for the time being. Not until we get such materials. And do I have anything to put in your satchel? I have some ingots and ore. There, you can have those, Queen. I'm holding on to soul gems because even though I'm not enchanting, I'm going to recharge my weapons when I do use enchanted weapons.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything.
This is
I
a
got
local
clean
favorite
mug
and
around here
one of the
somewhere.
first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red.
The music hasn't even started and he's already jamming. Oh, sorry, hiccups.
College is home to a dueling master. It is said he's as adept with the spoken word as he is with the blade.
Yeah, you're one of those wit duelists. Definitely something to check out if ever I'm in Solitude, the Bard's College. Wouldn't mind learning to play an instrument better than I can, which is I have no skill at all.
You're that visitor been poking around.
I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Now, in real life, I do actually know how to play an instrument. I played trumpet when I was in high school. Although it's been so long at this point since I've played trumpet that I'm probably no good at it. But yeah, it is 10 p.m., so let's get to bed. If I sleep 8 hours, I can wake up at 6. And we have a level up. Stamina is really the thing that I've been struggling with the most. Our health is actually quite improved by the warrior stone, so let's invest more into stamina. There we go. Ooh, I got a lot of levels. Now let's do that. Improve our power attacks for when we can do them. What's this perk? Oh, come on. Over here. Is that Warhammers? Yeah, it's Warhammers. Warhammers and quarterstaves, rather. Conditioning. You gain 50% health regeneration while wearing a heavy armor. Yes, please. That was one of the quickest and easiest options I've ever had. Alchemy. Potions and poisons you make are 25% stronger. Yes, I will gladly take that. I'm not very good at alchemy at the moment, but every bit helps. Let's see. Blocking is more effective. I don't know if that applies to shields or with any weapon. But I think I'm doing fine with my blocking without needing to improve it. Not gonna enchant. What could I put this in? I suppose security. I do a lot of lock picking, and it does lead the path to carry weight being improved. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ugh, investing into lock picking? What a waste of a perk. Lockpicking in this collection is harder, so I like the little bonus it adds. Plus, Deep Pockets is in the same skill tree. So, yeah. Also, Golden Touch. Find more gold when opening chests and picking pockets. Now, the opening chest part will be useful. I'm not really doing pickpocketing, at least not yet. Who knows how this character will develop. I don't currently have any plans in that regard. She could end up having magic in the future. She could end up being a little bit of a thief. I don't know. At the moment, she's just a bit of a bruiser type. But yes, that's where I'm going to end off this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.